Hey guys, what's up?
How's it going?
I can never get enough of that countdown.
I
No,
get
me
such a
neither.
workout dancing to that countdown.
Yeah, I'm dancing. I'm doing my own Stephen Colbert.
Mhm.
he's so amazing. Steve Colbert is
Yes.
so amazing.
A treasure.
And I just love Mark's little dance in the background.
Yeah, I do love all the jokes.
I can't see my hands, and that's the most important part. But oh my god, I've seen that so many things, and every time it's funnier.
I know. I love it. Him twerking on Milchick.
Like,
I love it.
yeah, Helena and Haley are obsessed with this dude. He's just like, yeah,
Right?
doing the white boy two-step.
I mean,
Mark
I'm not gonna
Aston.
lie, I do get it.
Yeah.
As someone who has been in like face-to-face contact with Adam Scott, I get it.
Okay.
It's such a Mark Aston too, because he's just
Yeah.
like it just fits with Mark S's whole personality.
It does.
Yeah, on point. What character work? What
Yeah.
devotion to the craft?
Yeah.
He's still my heart.
If he wins the Emmy, that's what it's for. It's for his devotion to ensuring the dancing is spot on character.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. And fun fact actually, I don't know if you guys know this, but that whole MDR
Yeah.
MDE, that whole MDE in season 1 was completely unscripted. It was just like,
Oh, really? Okay, I didn't know that.
yeah. It basically
That's
was just
cool.
written into the script as a music dance experience happens.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
And
So like that's awesome. They're all so perfect.
yeah. So they all just kind of
I mean, it
improv
doesn't scream choreographed, so that
No.
makes sense.
Yeah. Except I'm a little upset that John Turturro like did his little like snapping off beat thing. Because
They don't know what they never know what the music's gonna be.
yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
To hear the music, like you usually even have the music picked, like
Yeah.
Mhm.
when they're recording it, which makes I don't even know how they sync it up. It makes no sense to me. Shooting
No.
a dance is a miserable experience.
Yeah. Yeah, I was gonna say like that bothers me because I so want a scene of Bert and Irving dancing together in the show.
Yeah.
And
I don't know anymore. Now I'm lost. I don't know what I want from anything anymore.
dude,
All the cool points are out the window, and I'm all twisted up in the game.
Yeah.
we are all lost after this episode.
Yeah.
Like
What is happening?
they completely threw a wrench into everything with like we have no idea of the timeline in the show
Nope.
now.
No.
Like it's so we don't know what's actually happening and what is like at the moment and what Mark is just remembering.
Mhm.
It's so fucking weird.
And all these innie and outie relationships is just so confusing now. Gretchen and Dylan, and Haley and Mark and Helena, and Irving and Bert and Fields is like, wow.
Like,
No
what
wonder they have orgies. It's the only way to
Exactly.
explain it.
What happens if Gretchen gets pregnant by Dylan's innie? Like,
Yeah.
that's still Dylan's baby, right? Like,
Yeah, that's
I
weird.
was like turning that over in my head all night long. I was like, how would it work? Like,
Yeah.
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 I don't know, man. I really don't know. I'm like, first of all, I just want to say hi to everybody who's joining us. Hello, welcome or welcome back.
No.
I put the link in the chat to call in if you want to pop in with us. Cameras are not required; they're encouraged, but not required. Also, if you send us, if we get at least one super chat in this stream, we'll do something special.
Ooh.
Don't know what that'll be yet, but it'll be something. We'll decide that with you, with whoever sends us our super chat.
I'll go over this with you off camera, but I realized I have some amazing giveaway options for both shows because I've worked with both Liv and with Adam, so I have a few things on the same show.
Yeah, that's
not
so
that
cool.
Liv is on this show, but you know what I mean. Yeah. So we'll go over that off camera, and maybe we'll show them off next week once we talk about it. But I have a couple things that I think people will really enjoy.
Sweet. That's the awesome thing about, you working in the industry. I'm sure you have all kinds of cool
and
shit.
being a thief.
Yeah, let's get it the facts right.
Oh, is your friend Chuck?
Yes.
All right, we've got a caller. Hi, Chuck.
You're on mute, Chuck.
Can you hear us?
Unmute your microphone, Chuck.
All right, we'll.
There you go.
There he is.
Hear us?
What's up, guys? Sorry.
Hey.
I thought I was John.
There he is.
Oh, wait, we got a little bit of an echo.
Hey.
Can you Can you turn down your sound on your side? I mean,
yeah, just did it. Yeah,
okay,
sorry. I didn't mean to jump on in. I thought I was just going to be in holding backstage until you guys were ready for me.
No, welcome.
Nah, it's really casual here.
We live, baby.
By all means, guys, continue what you're going to do, and then I'll jump in when you're ready for me.
No,
we're ready. Let's do this.
We're ready. What did you think of this episode, Chuck?
Chuck is one of my oldest friends. I've known him for like 20 plus years.
Wow.
I want to say beyond 20 years at this point.
Right. High school for me. Very.
Yeah,
very
I think I met you when you were 13. So
that's probably true.
Yeah.
And then you started teaching me how to do bad things.
That's a fact.
Right away.
It's all coming out this
experience.
week.
Guys, what a banger of an episode, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh man. I mean, maybe my favorite of the year. I've kind of been waiting for things to get really cooking.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, did we get it this year?
10 out of 10.
Yeah. Everything is so great. And I love, I loved the whole thing with, I loved Helly in this episode so much.
Yes.
She was just amazing.
I've been waiting to say this, but like the Emmy conversation this year is going to be all about Britt Lauer. Like,
yes, for sure.
Her performance is out of this fucking world. Like, she is unbelievable.
And always an incredible opportunity for an actor to get to play like a Jekyll and Hyde kind of vibe, right? I mean, that's always juicy.
Yeah.
That's one of the big questions I had for you guys, because this is my favorite thing that the show is exploring right now. I'm wondering, knowing that Helena Egan has a Helly inside her, sort of, right? Does that make you any more sympathetic to Helena Egan?
No.
Helena, well, like, I get that Helena is a monster created by her circumstances.
Yeah.
Like, I know she could probably be a different person, but she's a fucking monster.
Yeah.
No, I know, but it's fascinating because I feel like what the show is telling us, and maybe you guys feel differently, is like Helly is who she'd like to be. Helly is who she could be or would be if she hadn't been raised into this, weird rich cult.
Yeah.
It's nature versus nurture, isn't it? This is like a prime example of it, showing who Helly would have been had she not had these parents or these circumstances.
Which makes it so for me, Helena is just such a deeply sad character, and then you get this incredible scene with her and Adam Scott in the Chinese restaurant where she just starts flirting with him right away, right? And we know that they've had this physical connection. And I mean, I think she's up to other stuff too, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't know what other motivation she has. But I did read that scene as her genuinely being smitten and longing for a connection with him.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh, I can definitely see that.
Threatening him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, she's doing both. It's such a weird, messy.
And she also raped him. Like the whole thing is like, I love that. Like pretty much every episode this season has had like something that I have had to turn over and over and over in my mind. Like I can't, like, just there's so many aspects to every side of it. I really thought Helly was going to be angrier at Mark, and I'm so glad it resolved the way it did.
Yeah.
And Jesus, that Chinese restaurant scene had me shaking in my boots. It was so stressed out.
It was so uncomfortable.
I like, Britt Lauer, just to speak more on Britt Lauer's acting abilities. It's so crazy to watch somebody have such a great scene to where like you're just completely falling in love with this character. You absolutely love her. And then the next time you see her, you're just seething with rage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say she's just fucking amazing. And Scarlet just tried to call in, but her device isn't working. So, but I will bring her in if she's functioning.
I wanted to throw this out there. This episode really turned me around on Milchek. Like,
yeah,
I was so like I was so empathetic for his character for pretty much the first time. The creepy black paintings I connected to.
Yeah.
And I think that like opened the door, but like, wow, like the whole scene of him talking to himself in the mirror.
Oh yeah.
Like trying to shorten his sentences. Like I really felt for him. It was painful. And I don't feel like his speech is that different from Miss Cobell's. I don't understand why they're hating on his vocabulary.
And the trembling hand, after doing all the paperwork. And it's just like, we're just starting to see, it's like we're seeing cracks into him,
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. Yeah. And Tremel Tillman just, man, he put that pussy all over the chain wax. Key and Peele reference for those who don't watch Key and Peele.
See in the chain wax.
No,
I'll sing that for an hour.
Like he is just, oh my God, he's amazing. He's so good.
The show needs to sweep the Emmys this year.
Yeah.
Next year.
Yeah.
Whatever year we have the Emmys again, if the world doesn't end in the next 6 to 8 weeks.
But like, what are you going to do for best supporting actor? Because it'll be him, it'll be John Turturro, it'll be Christopher Walken. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And Zach Cherry deserves to be up there as well, because
like we should talk about Zach Cherry's performance in this episode.
Yes, please.
He is so the scenes between him and Merritt Weaver, who I also love. I mean, anytime Merritt Weaver shows up in anything, I get real excited.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Though he does a great job of reminding us that the Emmys are kind of children, and that is beautiful. Yeah. That little smirk.
I made that point last week when she hugged him, or 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
When she hugged him for the first time. Like outside of the waffle party, that's one of the first times he's really had any kind of physical intimacy, and like with someone that he cares about or has feelings for. Like he's probably never been held like that at all.
Yeah.
And like this whole scene was just so fucking precious. Like,
and then the same thing with Mark and Haley. Like that's you know, he's having sex for the second time, but she's essentially losing her virginity. And, you know, Brit Lahr played it like that she was like, you know, it's somebody's first time, and you're thinking they're although they're like children, they're all like teenagers, you know, experiencing first love and that thrill and the uncertainty, and like Zach Cherry and Brit Lahr in this episode both were showing that kind of teenage oh, that, you know, I don't know what's happening, oh, this is exciting kind of reaction to emotional and physical touch.
Having sex underneath a plastic sheet, I just kept thinking that's really gonna trap in some smells.
Well, you know what else I was thinking? It's like innies, like any innie that has sex at work must just feel like, you know, rug burn is just part of sex.
I love the way, first of all, her sitting in the corner with her shoes off, just like rocking, which like broke my heart. But then the way she like comes back down that hallway, like, I'm gonna get pregnant right now.
It was not the
episode with an Emmy. Like, sorry, Chuck, go ahead.
I was just, it was not the reaction I was expecting, and I loved it because I was projecting that she must be feeling more violated rather than robbed of experience. So I really liked that was a very surprising turn for me and very sweet.
Yeah,
absolutely.
It's like
this episode was what I was expecting.
She's totally taking control of her own body. You know, women talk about that all the time. I would control my body, and that's exactly what she was doing. She was like, no, I want to experience that me rather than her.
She peed all over Mark. Helly marked her territory.
I loved the shot of the completely empty room. I'm like, they're all having sex.
I thought that was really funny.
I know.
And also, like, Mrs. Wong's first time running the floor, and everyone's just off fucking and cuddling, and nobody's refining data.
Right?
They're refining, all right.
Yeah. Isn't Mark like 85% of the way done with this mysterious?
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
Man, he's been there a long time ago. If they could just keep these people working,
you know.
By the way, Scarlet / Wild Marjoram is in here.
The only thing I was disappointed about was there's so much loving and no threesome between Bert, Irving, and Fields.
Yeah, that whole scene was so fucking weird.
What is happening? What is happening? Is Bert evil?
Yeah.
Bert
we know
him there to distract him from Drummond going through his shit.
We know that Bert was a Lumen employee for like 8 years before Severance, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's like more of a company man than maybe we'd been led to believe.
Yeah.
So that was the big info drop there. Hopefully we'll get more information about that soon. I'm fascinated.
Mm-hmm. Just the way that you kept repeating, it was 12 years, not 20. It was 12 years. Severance didn't exist.
Yeah, and then
12 years.
like throwing his partner onto the bus, being like, "Oh, he gets so fuzzy, you know, when he drinks, he'll be tomorrow."
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so bizarre. And you know, and him mentioning like being a bit of a scoundrel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I was like, killed Natalie Wood, you know. We were crazy back then.
My Emmy can go to heaven and I won't, so
yeah.
That's so creepy.
Aspect of it all.
Yeah.
So weird. That whole I was so excited to see Bert and Irving together, and it was so uncomfortable and weird the entire time.
But I want to flag my favorite Christopher Walken line delivery, because anytime Christopher Walken appears on a show, I feel like you need to flag that. And this time, I believe it would be Jesus Christ.
Yeah. I was so hoping I really like it just because I love John Turturro so much, and Big Lebowski is one of my favorite movies. I was so hoping that when he said Jesus and he was like Jesus Christ, I was so hoping he was going to say no, it's just some guy who calls himself the Jesus.
Don't mess with the Jesus.
I used to bowl with him. He's really weird. He likes bowling balls, and he's kind of a creep.
What a missed opportunity.
John Turturro directed that the Jesus Rolls. Have you seen that movie?
I have not seen it yet, but I know about it. Christopher Walken is in that, isn't he?
I can't remember. I've seen it so long ago.
Yeah, I know he's been in I know they worked together a bunch of times, but I think he might actually.
Were you the one telling me that John Turturro picked Christopher Walken to play his love interest in this?
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, I saw the clip. It's amazing. And, seeing him saying, he's like, hey, if you're going to have a love interest, I want it to be Christopher Walken. You're like,
I know.
That's so sweet.
There was an article I just read the other day about Christopher Walken talking about how he gets to do one thing he's never gotten to do in any of his movies, which is get the girl.
Do we know if the plan was always to make it a same-sex relationship before the suggestion of Walken?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm assuming because there's, but yeah, it might not have been. I have no idea. I love it even more if it was like not defined. If the gender wasn't defined yet, that would be
like, pick your love interest, and he was like Christopher Walken. Working it out, I love that.
Yeah, I love the way those two talk about it. Like Christopher Walken saying, it just makes sense for us to play people who love each other.
Yeah,
it's so sweet. It's so sweet. I love it.
Yeah, but I'm not mad if they're now introducing a layer of menacing Christopher Walken because we know he does that lane really well too.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Oh yeah.
It's like
that last second. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, it's like all of the outies are evil except Mark. Because Helen is awful, Bert's terrible, and Dylan is just awful as a husband.
Yeah. Well, we still don't know that much about Irving. He's still a huge mystery.
Yeah, but it seems like the outies and the innies are attracted to the same people.
Yeah.
Across the board.
Yeah, that's
not the
true.
board, not the board, but across the board.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, that goes back to, I think, the idea that they're suggesting is really like what part of you is stable across all I don't know, ranges of life experience, right? Like if you take away all of your memories and give yourself new ones, what part of you is always sticks around. So yeah, that's fascinating, and I think they're exploring that really interestingly with the Dylan and instantly feeling that connection with his wife. I love the idea of she's like, oh my God, he's looking at me like a brand new love again. This is what's your take, guys, if you found out that your significant other was cheating on you with your other self?
Right?
Oh man,
is it cheating? Does because also Dylan G be fucking at these waffle parties. We all know that. So that, I feel like that's more of a violation of their relationship than Gretchen having a relationship with her husband's innie. But also, that's not him. They're not each other. Even though they are.
That dinner table moment where she decides to lie about it. That was so revealing.
Yes.
Such a juicy moment.
Yeah. That totally shows her guilt of and wanting it to be something secret and
just for her.
Surreptitious. Yeah, just for her. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking about it today, just trying to imagine myself in that situation. And I feel like if we were living in the world of Severance and my husband went to go visit my innie at work and they were like making out or getting it on or something, and I found out about it, I think I would be really uncomfortable. Like, just, I mean, yeah, it's my husband and everything, but
it's not you.
It's not,
No.
I think maybe it would depend on how our relationship is going. Like if our sex life is dead, but my wife seems very interested in having sex with my innie, what does that mean? What's going on?
Yeah. What is it that's missing, or that's different with your innie? Is it a part of you that you've lost? And that's what it feels like with Dylan, isn't it? Like that's the Dylan she fell in love with, is innie Dylan, and like life and whatever experience has ground him down, and he's this kind of waster. And whereas innie Dylan still has that kind of lust for life, that's the thing that's missing. I think that's what I would be thinking, is like, what is it in them that I don't have that you're seeing? But at least I would be reassured that, okay, you're physically attracted to me, you're, even with a different personality, you're still physically attracted to me. I think I would find that reassuring.
Yeah.
Is it like cheating with someone's twin? Is that like, I don't know how much closer we can get to an analogy.
I also liked that she had her hair down.
Yeah.
In this episode, when she went to see him, it kind of, I mean, I felt like it was a little symbolic of her kind of feeling more at ease with him,
But I think the show is asking the question of like, is it possible to revamp that, to regain that spark? Is it can you merge? Like, can Audi Dylan find that thing that's in any Dylan and bring that into an integrated life? Is that even possible? Can Helena Egan find any redemptive quality by bringing in a little bit more of Helly?
Because it's in there. Like in the third episode, I went back and forth so many times on if it was Helly or Helena, and what sold me that it was Helly is that was her and Mamilion's nurturable, demanding that they like I was like, okay, that's not Helena. Helena's not gonna like march around and wave, like, that's not her, but she's got it in her.
Yeah.
She can be a human person.
and Helena has the advantage over like Dylan, in that Helena can watch and see exactly what Haley is doing and take that on, whereas Dylan doesn't know what his innie is up to, and certainly now that his wife is keeping it secret, but he doesn't know what his personality is, whereas Helena can mimic Haley, but then that's like extra creepy. Because she's not doing it because she thinks Haley is a good person and she should be more like her, but just it seems like it's just all about Mark and like wanting to win over Mark, which is very creepy.
Get intel on whatever they're trying to, however they're trying to break out, or whatever their plans are, like long term.
I wonder if, I wonder if Helena could tell at all that Helly had sex with Mark.
I mean, if he did it right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, she's like,
go ahead, sorry.
No, I was just gonna say, like, because I don't know. I mean, she obviously has never had a serious relationship, but I don't know if, like, I don't know what else she's done. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm assuming she's had sex before Helena, because that probably. It felt different, that whole, and I thought it was really good. The original tent scene was all red, and this was all blue, and the difference of like Helena seemed more sexually aware than Haley.
Yeah.
Oh man, I didn't even think about that. That was great.
Yeah.
I was gonna say like the reveal of it being Helena and like that was like I took that so viscerally because that was such an assault. Like she raped Mark and she raped Helly.
Yeah.
You know, with her own body, but I did not feel at all that Helena had been violated.
No.
Like vice
No.
versa. Like
No.
at all.
No.
And
No.
it's so complicated. Like I think I like that they used Fields to talk about like he believes that innies deserve to experience love and they deserve to have happiness. Also, it's a fully separate life. But also, are you going to bring me home chlamydia from some random person's baby? Like,
Right?
Yeah.
I was like,
or a baby.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
A baby. I was thinking maybe they have like birth control as part of the severed. Yeah, an implant that's so that they can get up to whatever and don't get pregnant.
I mean, we use waffle parties. There has to be a contingency.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm wondering when we're gonna hear about the first waffle party pregnancy.
Well, they had the thing on the television where that one woman got pregnant.
Yeah.
She didn't know how.
Oh, yeah.
Scary.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what's
That's
really
right, I forgot
interesting
about
is what's really fascinating is if this pregnancy storyline happens, who's gonna like? I mean, they're both gonna feel ownership over the baby.
Yeah.
You know,
it is. Yeah.
That's been the most upsetting part for me.
Yeah.
The whole like the entire storyline with the senator's wife using Severance to give birth and this woman just like waking up pregnant, having a baby, and then going away until she wakes up pregnant again years later and never getting to see her children. Like, it's so fucking dark.
And then she'd be like,
so
because they call him different names, she'd be like, "Where's William?" And she'd have no idea where he was. Either.
Yeah.
That's messy.
Yeah. Hey, Cindy, thanks for joining us. Cindy said I was confused about what Helena apologized for in the Chinese restaurant. It was weird. It was a little
overtime contingency, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, for it happening because, as you said, she's the head of the company, so it's on her.
Yeah, but it was definitely kind of strange.
It was just that weird look she had. Like her eyes got really weird and poppy, and she had this weird, goofy smile. It was really weird before she went up to his table.
Yeah.
And then she's like, "Hey, I assaulted you. Do you want to meet my dad?" I'm like, "What is she doing?"
God.
Do you think it was deliberate? Do you think she like stalked him there?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah,
100%.
Yeah. Her driver was sitting outside.
Yeah.
In the parking lot.
I really need to know why Mark is so important to Lumen specifically. They are obsessed with him.
Yeah.
To the point where they're like, I mean, I don't know. I know Cobell was kind of like doing a rogue agent thing, but like pretending to be his sister's lactation consultant, and like why are they so embedded in his life?
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I'm just. I think we're going to find out that a lot of the people connected to these characters are more involved with Lumen than we realize, and I think that could possibly include Mark's parents even.
Ooh.
You know, we don't know anything about his parents. We heard them mentioned once.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much it. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. I'm so happy we get Cobell back next week.
I was going to say, we missed Cobell. What's going on with her?
We get Cobell and the animatronic Cure Puppet next week.
And the was it Drummond that was looking through all this paperwork? Was that
at Irving's house, right?
Yeah.
He's going through Irving's stuff.
So was that like, did he get the nod to go there by Bert?
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
With like
Yeah.
Bert's weird creepiness at the end, his like
Mhm.
creepy stare as he like walks away, and like
I know.
it seems like the whole thing is a setup,
Yeah.
which is a bummer. But also, he was like, "You want to come over and bang me and my husband, or maybe just me?" Like, was he like? Did it start up as a? I just realized I have the Antler Queen's background on. Sorry, I got distracted. Wait, why do I have horns?
Well, it is a horny show.
For show. For show.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
There we go.
I love that they had Field say, "What's mine is yours." I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Were you guys familiar with the actor who played Fields? He looked
Yeah.
familiar. I couldn't place him.
He was the really bad guy in Sleepy Hollow. I don't know if you watched that. He's an Australian actor. His name's John Noble, and he was
He's in Friends.
Yes, he was in Friends. Yeah.
It is
Wait.
Fringe.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Fringe.
Fringe.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. He was in well, there was something else he was in quite recently. But he does do a good line in Creepy Bad Guys. So
yeah, I enjoyed him.
Yeah.
He was great.
Yeah.
I'll look him up and see what it is.
I mean, I definitely got the feeling that what upsets me is I definitely think that between Fields and Bert, at least one of them is up to no good. And unfortunately, I felt like Fields was the more submissive one in the relationship.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe
Bert's in control.
Center.
Yeah.
Well,
What'd you say, Chuck?
Scoundrel. We know that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which sucks because I want Irving to be a thing so bad, but
Yeah.
And there's clearly like the chemistry's there. Like they're
Yeah.
both feeling something. Even if he's like being a deceiver, like he is into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder if we're going to see this Pastor Gale, who like is giving sermons about Severance.
Severance.
Yeah. I was really interested. That when they said Lutheran Church, I was like, "Do you mean Lutheran Church? Do they have their own branch of religion as well?"
Now that you mention that, I did have when they were talking about how the sermon came just at the right time.
Yeah.
Wonder. Oh, it sounds like Lumen is spying on them and possibly wanted to recruit Bert for the Severance. I don't know. It seemed a little too clean, and I assume that Lumen sort of knows everything.
Yeah.
Chuck, did you read the what was it called? The
Lexington letter.
Yes, the Lexington letter. Thank you.
No, I don't know what that is.
It was a piece of like additional promotional content they put out. That was a former Lumen employee who was able to contact her innie through a system of codes she developed as a child.
Mm-hmm.
And like a secret code language that only she knew about, and for some reason her innie started to remember it and was able to write letters to her outie, and like basically, like, long story short, they described that she was a bus driver who had a bad accident and was looking for a new job, and they found her and brought her in. And I feel like Lumen, that's like was the first thing that made me feel like Lumen's really scouting for their employees. Like, I don't think they're just hiring random people. They're looking for people with trauma. Go ahead.
There's that jingle that comes on the radio in the Lexington letter right when she has her accident, and it's a Lumen ad.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, so I think it's safe to assume that Lumen is always pulling the strings. So maybe they already had Bert in the fold, or maybe he had been working for them and then left and they wanted him back, but for whatever reason they wanted him in this program, and they're master manipulators of everything, which is very dark.
Yeah.
Cindy brought up the fact that Mark's outie did not know about the assault.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just
not
got
yet. Yes.
yeah, he just got a
Can you-
flash of he just like I think he knows now that that he was assaulted by Helena because he was getting those flashes.
Because all they
Yeah.
really told them about the excursion, whatever they're the Orpo, something like that.
Orpo,
Yeah. Orbo. Yeah.
Was that he fell in some water, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
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 Do you think that's what he was seeing? Because I wondered in that last moment in the episode when she has flooded the chip and he kind of comes online, he has this great what the fuck, and
Yeah.
what he was seeing there. That wasn't clear, was it?
No. I just thought it was maybe just because he was just freaking out, but
Yeah.
maybe it was something. And I thought it was good that, they had him seeing his point of view of Haley when they were having sex, because even though Ragabi was like, oh, it's really recent, I was assuming that's because that was when he had really strong feelings. So that was the thing that would come through, is the thing when he had the most emotion, and that's what's coming through.
Yeah. It's I'm really looking forward to next week's episode in the like the aftermath of his seizure, like what he's going to be seeing and all that stuff. I mean, I keep going back to the line in the trailer that we hear Patricia Arquette saying something like, there'll be no honeymoon ending for you, Mark. And
does that mean she's going to be in the next episode? Because I've really been missing Patricia Arquette.
I know. Yeah, I saw a preview that showed her in the next episode.
Well, that's good.
Yeah,
We're gonna get my.
All right, have they already greenlighted a third season?
Have
I
they?
don't think so, but I mean, given the news this week that it's the most watched show on Apple ever,
Yeah,
I think it's
They're gonna
guaranteed.
get another season. Yeah.
I mean, it's got to be one of the most watched TV shows on right now. If like,
yeah,
right. So we shouldn't assume that we're gonna get anything super final.
No.
Oh yeah.
In terms of Mark dying or anything.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did they say? I'm sure they said they have a 5-year plan from Ben Stiller. I think I heard that.
Yeah, and they won't go past that.
Yeah. So
I love hearing that creators have an endpoint in mind.
Yeah, me too.
Yes.
I like that they actually. I like it when in this case when they say they're not going to go past so many seasons.
Yeah.
When it's a puzzle box show, because it gives me that they know where they're going. They are just making it up as they go along, right?
Yes. Yeah. Because that's awful.
Excuse me. Which Damon Lindelof caught in my throat.
Which unfortunately, I feel like Yellow Jackets is starting to do in that.
Don't you shush?
No, I won't. I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to say anything.
It's perfect forever. I'm saying,
yes, exactly.
I will not absorb Yellow Jackets negativity.
I will not absorb the Yellow Jackets becoming lost.
But there are a lot of shows that have done that would just started off strong, and shows like Heroes and Flash Forward, and these big complicated mythology shows, and they've just gone to pieces. So we have hope in Ben Stiller.
Yeah, it will not turn into The Walking Dead.
No. No, please God, no.
We're gonna see in season Ben Stiller is gonna announce that they decided to go for like 7 seasons, and then a group of garbage people is gonna show up talking in weird language.
It's gonna be a weird language with a weird haircut.
By the way, just speaking of, does anybody else feel like there's a strong resemblance between Britt Lauer and Pollyanna McIntosh?
I had never thought about it. I have to say, I was distracted in this episode by Haley's wig, that was annoying me. I'm like, you're an amazing show with immaculate production, and your wig is just like, that's clearly a wig.
I'm such a wig person. I get so distracted by a bad wig.
Yeah.
It gets to me.
And when Mark and Haley were having sex under the tent, and there was like one bit of Mark's hair was going down like this, and I was like, I'm just so distracted by his hair. Fix it, Mark. Fix it.
Oh my gosh.
Clearly, I've got my priorities wrong.
You mean when they were exchanging vessels?
Yes.
They're sharing vessels.
Sharing vessels.
Shared vessels.
It's just ew.
Adam Scott capable of doing something that isn't precious.
I know.
I love him so much.
I did see a movie with one of my first introductions to Adam Scott was a movie he was in. I think what's it called? The Hurting Kind, where he played kind of a dirtbag.
Don't know that. No.
I mean, he wasn't like, if I remember correctly, I don't know. Was that the name of it? I can't remember.
I'm looking it up for you.
Well,
I just remember him being in that Hellraiser sequel where he was the guy who created the Hellraiser box.
Oh.
Yeah, it's
The Vicious Kind.
Vicious Kind. Okay.
The Vicious Kind. Yeah.
What were you saying, Chuck?
I was just saying, well, like when Adam Scott first started sort of getting to the next level with like the Apatow guys, like his first couple roles were like hardcore dirtbags, right?
Yeah.
Step Brothers.
All Cameo and Knocked Up, and then Step
Brothers. Knocked Up. Yeah, Knocked Up is what I was thinking of.
God, he was in Knocked Up.
Yeah.
Like completely.
By the way, that reminds me, Jazzy, did you watch the Hot Wings Versus yet?
I watched the first. I watched like the first 3 or 4, and then I fell asleep watching it, and I didn't finish it.
You have to watch the rest of it. It's great.
Getting to the point where Patricia Arquette's naming Adam Scott's roles, and she like can only name like 4, and he's like, "Come on, I know everyone." He knows like every movie she's ever done. That was really cute. Not to like just jump ship on a different subject, but my interview with the Yellow Jackets cast is doing some numbers.
Yeah.
Yes.
Brag, but it has over 13,000 views, and I was like, amazing. How are there so many nice comments on a YouTube video? I have never seen a YouTube video where all the comments are nice. This is amazing.
That's so cool. No, you deserve it though.
Thank you.
It's so good. So good.
I worked real hard on that.
Yeah. One who hasn't seen that interview, who's listening, should definitely go watch it. When Jazzy asks the question about code switching to and I don't know that actress's name. Who is that?
Jasmine Savoy Brown.
Okay, watching that actress light up at that question was so lovely.
Yeah.
Clearly mental for and
thank you, Chuck.
And you can see as an actor finding like kind of an opening a new door for her. Way to think about the character. Really, really cool.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Not that you're biased or anything, but I appreciate it.
Yeah, no, it was fantastic. I'm so proud. I really am. So good.
Don't mind toot my own horn a little bit.
No, you're right to, yeah.
But I'm really wondering like what's gonna happen in the wake of Mark's seizure, and if he's gonna end up hospitalized. I mean, obviously he's gonna be gone from work.
Mm-hmm.
For a bit,
told him not to jerk his head, and there he goes slamming it on the
slammed it.
Yeah,
that's a really good point. If Mark's not at work and Haley is like doesn't know why, and she's just had sex with him, oh man, she's going to feel so dejected and like as well as worried, but also that would be just heartbreaking for her. Oh no, never thought of that. Poor Haley.
Hang on,
I hope they pull him together.
Yeah.
I'm worried about Mark.
I'm really surprised they've gone into the reintegration so quickly. You know what I mean? In terms of it being season 2, I thought it would be something that would happen near the end game kind of thing. So if it happens, that's
if they
I don't know how it's going to continue.
Themselves very far to go. Like if he's just now, they really would create a problem. They're going to have to probably find a way to walk that back. Somehow.
Yeah.
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 I was surprised it wasn't more. I thought it was going to be instantaneous. Like she was like, "We're going to reintegrate you," and I thought it would. He was going to spend the rest of the season like fully reintegrated. So I'm glad that it's taking some time.
Yeah.
I'm not ready to lose any Mark as a character in any fashion at all.
No.
But yeah, I don't know how that's going to shake out.
But
completely lose him. I think it's just literally integration, right? They become they become one. It's a tricky acting problem about like how much you let us see of each person. And you get a little bit of plot juice out of once he's fully integrated. Now he can go into Lumen and he's got some power and he can collect from both sides. But then eventually either like he solves it, whatever that means, or, whatever, they just run out of runway. So yeah, very, very curious to see kind of how plot engine wise they solve that problem.
And also as you brought up that he's 85% completed the file. So if they finish that as well, what's that going to do to the plot, Because that seems to be the whole reason they're giving him so much leeway is so he can complete that. So if he completes it, then what? So
why is he the only one who can complete it?
I'm sure it's because it's Gemma. I'm sure
it has something to do with her.
He's was it Ragabi that said she's essential? And I was like, how do you know? I was like, that's a bit of an inner. How do you know that Gemma's essential?
Do we know anything about Ragabi's past with Lumen? Like what she did, what role she was in? She worked on the severed floor, but she wasn't severed.
Yeah,
I know.
I don't know.
I know she put the chips in people.
But
yeah,
that's all I know.
How many people besides the guy from the first season that we see? How many? Do we have any sense of how many people she's attempted reintegration with? Is it like
no.
She says in the beginning of the season that she's gotten better. But as far as we know, she's only reintegrated Petey.
Yeah.
Only one? So how's she getting the reps in?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I kind of, no, we would know that. But in the beginning of the season, I thought maybe Irving was considering reintegration. But I feel like if that were the case, we'd know that by now. But we still don't know who he's calling.
No, that's right.
So, on the world's only payphone.
Yeah, seriously.
Also, while we're talking about Ragabi and we just had a racist person, I'm going to throw this out there. I really like that the lead person, like the most senior person in the anti-Lumen movement is a Black woman. It means a lot to me. I like that. It's like it's a nice touch because we get shit done. And I also I don't know like how much of the show is like our world versus like like a different reality or timeline or whatever, but like clearly like race is still a thing.
Yeah.
Still an issue, and I like that we're exploring that a little bit this season because it didn't come up like there was no exploration of it last season.
Yeah. With Milchick, it's obviously plays a huge part in his story. And I hope I hope they explore that more. Like his need to perform well, and his wanting to succeed, and the way that he was speaking to himself and things, it's like it's all connected to to his experience as a black man, and I hope that's made more a main topic as we go forward.
Yeah, definitely. But guys, Jazzy and I need to go record our Yellow Jackets recap. Did any of you have any thoughts that you wanted to add about this episode?
I did.
Before we...
I did. I'm so happy that they had a scene where Mark asked Helly yes, and she said yes, and it was consensual sex.
Yes.
Yes. So yes. So the showrunners know that between Mark and Helena was non-consensual, and this was consensual, and I'm really appreciative of that. So thank you, showrunners.
I love that.
Agree.
Yeah. You mentioned that in the private chat, and I totally forgot to bring it up. I absolutely loved that. I thought that was so great. So great.
They're really exploring the nuances of consent that people, in shows where it's not as sci-fi, it's not as the complex as this ride roughshod over, and this show is really going into going into it as a topic, which I think too many shows just ignore and gloss over.
Yeah, for sure. Chuck, Jazzy, did you have anything else that you
I think I got all my feelings out.
Yeah, no, I'm good. This has been great. I just had DIY brain surgery, so naturally I got to go house a bunch of Chinese food.
Awesome. I haven't seen my innie in quite a while, so I'm thinking about what I'm gonna say to her next time I see her.
Chuck, thank you for calling in.
Yes, thank you.
I'm going to tell you on here because you're one of my best friends. I love you. Thank you for calling.
I love you too.
Thanks, Chuck. Scarlet, thanks so much for calling in. Dawn, did you have anything else to add?
No, I'm all good.
All right. Well, we will skedaddle on out of here. Guys, join us every Friday at 5 p.m. Eastern. And you'll be able to call in, but we gotta figure out a better screening process. So we don't let basement dwelling losers in. Also check out, if you're a fan of Yellow Jackets check out our coverage on our channel, and make sure you check out our Yellow Jackets cast interview. And we are out of here. Praise Kier, everyone.
Praise Kier.
Praise Kier.
Okay.